And before we get started, I just want to take a moment. First of all, I want to remind everybody, make sure you tune in for June the 24th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna do a relational live stream lecture. I've been marketing this specific lecture for well over a month. And the focus of that lecture is I'm gonna go into insight in regards to many things I continue to do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and a yearly basis to push my YouTube channel into the next stratosphere. You know, January of 2026, my channel will have been monetized for 3 solid years, and I've seen explosive growth within that process in terms of my monthly YouTube checks. January of 2024, my channel earned the YouTube Silver Play Button Award, and that was a tremendous feat. In August of 2024, my channel became eligible for major brand deals where companies and corporations seek me out to go into a contractual agreement to pay me to run their product and services and brand across my channel. And there's also a criteria for that. So I'm gonna just give the world some insight on things I do as a content creator to be able to accomplish all those feats to push my channel into the next stratosphere. So either way it go, I'm gonna be ready to get down to business. But anyway, the focus of this lecture is gonna be, do not, and I'm gonna say this loud and clear, you know, the Spirit guided me to do this lecture. I've done it before. Do not allow social media to be the reason why you lose your job, meaning getting fired from your job, or do not allow social media for the reason of blocking employment. This is real talk, people. You know, although I'm fully retired, I fully retired from state government September 2023. I'm also a veteran, so I get a couple of pensions for the rest of my life. But I have also a home office where I still generate income under my company. And I don't even care if you got your own company or self-employed, because I, get a lot of lucrative contracts from stakeholders. And even if I'm a 1099, which I am, to provide those professional services, I still have to meet all of the requirements if I want that contract from that stakeholder, or that a regular employee have to meet in terms of pre-employment screening. They're checking my credentials. They're doing a pre-employment background check, criminal background check, social media check if I want that contract. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to work for myself and I'm self-employed. They ain't got to worry about nothing. But I don't care what kind of business you have, even if you are, my company is 25 plus years old. And yeah, I got a home office, but I also go into contractual agreements with powerful stakeholders for them to send me referrals to do what I do under my licensure. So they're checking me out. So I say this to say, as I speak, there are people right now who have gotten fired from their job because of what they are doing on social media. World, let me tell you something. A lot of times you see these people when they're getting fired from these jobs or live streaming that situation, or prior to them getting fired from that employer, they're live streaming in uniform or with the name badge on, talking bad about the company, discrediting that company brand, live footage while they're on the clock. And I'm just thinking, when you get fired, what do you expect? Even before I retired, and I talk to a lot of people in HR right now today, rural companies, jobs, almost every job now has policies and procedures in place in relation to social media. They got policies and procedures in place in regards to letting folks know you can't be on the job and on your cell phone 24/7 live. They're not paying you they're paying you to perform the essential functions of your job. They're not paying you while you are on the clock to be on social media, live streaming different topics while you're on the job, and it's gotten out of control. And then when they get fired, I've seen it. I've known people to lose their job by social media. In addition to what I see on these platforms, And I'm telling you, there is policies and procedures are in place for a reason. I retired from the state of North Carolina as a licensed clinical supervisor. Our clinical supervisors are the experts in my building in the field of addiction. Even on my job prior to me retiring, they had strict policies in place, and I'm a supervisor for everybody. We could not. And if you got caught with your cell phone, you would get fired because they had it in policy. They had training around it. We could not bring our cell phone in the building. And that was for all staff. I'm on the management team, even managers. You know, we had walkie-talkie, and they meant that. They had it in policies and procedures. They had ongoing training around it. Folks thinking they were special, getting caught with the cell phone in the building. I've seen people with state government lose their job behind that doggone cell phone. I'm telling you, these companies got now, because what's happening, people ain't no longer coming to work. They're not performing the essential functions of the job. They're too busy on the cell phone, live streaming on all these various social media platforms versus performing the essential functions of their job. Yeah, if you're on your lunch break, we could go to our car and use our cell phone, but we could not bring the doggone cell phone in the building. In the organization I worked at when I retired from state government, at that one particular facility, we had well over 300 employees, and could nobody bring their phone in the building. Employers are getting fed up. I talked to many people who work in HR. Companies now are now doing pre-employment as a part of the hiring process. You know, of course, you do the physical or drug screen, they check your credential, but now a lot of companies are doing pre-employment social media checks as part of the pre-employment process. And they're not saying you can't have no social media, but there's a form that you have to sign. They're going to let you know, we're going to do a social media check because we want to see what type of content you are publishing on social media, and you have to pass this check in order to get this job. And if you're on these social media platforms, you know, with this controversial topic, toxic language, you know, bullying people, employers are looking at this, and that can block you from getting a job. I don't care what your credentials are. I don't care what your knowledge, skills, and abilities and the credential are. If you fail that pre-employment social media check, you will not get the job, people. Employers are fed up. I know people in the real world who have lost their job because of what they're posting on these social medias out there. I know people who have not gotten the job because they failed the social media check. Because understand, people, companies and organizations got policies and procedures in place for you are working for them. And if you don't want to abide by their policies and procedures that everybody have to abide by, you out of there. Or better yet, if you fail the pre-employment social screening check, you don't get the job. And even if they don't tell you, because I know many people in HR, even if a potential employee don't tell you we ain't doing no social media check, trust me, they are doing a social media check. And if they pull you up and see you on social media, you know, going back and forth, arguing with people, shaking your behind, cursing people, controversial topics, they ain't got to hire you. It's a reason they got these procedures in place. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Because even with my home office, I, Marie Holiday, have a brand to protect. I got credentials to protect. My company, 25 plus years strong, Patterson Associates Resource Center, my brand been out there long before YouTube. So there is no way as a content creator, I'm going to come on these platforms, you know, using toxic language, cursing people out, controversial toxic topics, toxicity to the highest level. No, I can lose my contracts under my company, and that will have a direct impact on my revenue that I make under my company. Real talk, people. This is real talk. I've seen people at all levels lose their credentials. Doctors, nurses, therapists, people working in corporate America, people working at Lowe's, Food Lion, in all genres, all because they own these platforms in uniform, on the job, live streaming toxic content, and they surprise that they're getting fired. And then if you live streaming and you on the job and you live streaming and your supervisor know your work schedule, your supervisor know you ain't on break, your supervisor know you ain't on lunch, and you here on these social media platforms live streaming for 2 hours. I'm trying to figure this. Well, if you live streaming on the job for 2 hours, when are you performing the essential functions of your job? You ain't got no 2-hour lunch break. You ain't got no 2-hour, 15-minute break. So you're giving the employer all the evidence they need. You in uniform, or you got your name badge on, you're live streaming 2 hours on the clock, and then you mad because they fire you. It ain't nowhere I would be safe to say for anybody on any job in this world where it states in your job description it is okay to not to perform the essential functions of your job and live stream for 30 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours while you on the clock, or the live stream or while you on the clock but you ain't on your break. You ain't on your lunch break. You on company time doing this. That's the problem right there. Real talk, people. It's out of control. It's so out of control to the point where, I talk to a lot of people in the natural environment, and what employers are seeing in all jobs, everywhere, that folks are so obsessed with social media. When they on the job for the whole doggone shift, they got that cell phone in their hand. They're on all these social media platforms. They live streaming as much as they can to the point they literally get an attitude. Co-worker or supervisor literally have to tap them on the shoulder. Excuse me, you're getting behind on your work. You're missing these due dates on your work. You're not getting your job done for the shift. That's out of control, people. And you know what? And they should get fired. Real talk. Because bottom line, I can be safe to say it ain't on nobody's job description where it's giving that person the green light to come to work, to perform your essential functions of your job, but instead of you performing your essential functions of your job, you all enmesh into the world of being on social media, on your phone, attending everybody else's live stream, and job just becomes in the way you think they're going to pay you for that. No, and they shouldn't. Like I said, this is a topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while. It's gotten so bad where some people can't even have a real conversation with a person without that phone being in their hand. Because my thing is, I'm not going to communicate with nobody in the real world, and I'm communicating with you in the real world, and you glued to the phone and all in tune to what's going on social. No, I walk away and it's sad. They won't even notice. I've seen people so out of touch with reality with that phone on their hand. I'd be outside a lot, and I'm an observer. I've seen people where you can literally walk up so close to them and they don't even know you there. And that make it real easy for a pickpocketer to pickpocket them. Real easy. They wouldn't even know. Because my thing is, I've been in the military. You ain't getting too close to me in my circumference. I'm going to know. First of all, I'm going to see you coming. I'm going to see you coming my way. I'm always going to position myself where I'm going to know what's going on in front of me, to the side of me, behind me. You ain't coming up on me and I don't know it. In order to do that, especially when you in this natural environment, walking out there into the real world, when I'm running errands, anywhere I go, I'm paying attention to what's going on around me. And in order to do that, you got to have that cell phone out of your hand. I'm scoping, I'm scanning. I went to get my car service today. I'm in there waiting, sitting in the lobby. I'm scanning. I'm knowing who walking up on me. You ain't coming up on me, because I'm telling you, you got people of all ages, male, female. Pay attention to what's going on, people. They are snatching people off these streets, people, and getting them into the world of trafficking. They are when people are not aware of their surroundings, it makes it real easy for these type of criminals to snatch a full-grown person up and won't nobody ever see you again. But if you are aware of your surroundings, I'm paying attention to anything that's coming in my direction. I don't care if you're walking or in a car, because I work out a lot outside. I'm going to notice if a car moving too slow. You don't need to be moving too slow near me. I'm paying attention. And I've been that way all of my life. And I'm going to tell you something that has saved me, that has saved my life in many situations through this journey of life. Real talk, people. I'm paying attention to the energy that's around me. There's many times I've been in places, the minute I stepped foot up in there, the energy was not right. That's the power of discernment. And I walked right on back out. Ain't lying. It went and got me business somewhere else. I've done that many times through, because I'm paying attention to the energy in the building, the energy in the people. But if you're so glued to a cell phone, you're going to miss out on all that. You don't pick up on energy in the building, or energy from a person that's around you. If you glued to the cell phone, glued on social media, and somebody live stream, commenting back and forth, you out of touch with everything around people. This is real talk. I'm paying attention. Anywhere I go, I'm paying attention. I'm watching people. I'm observing. That's part of my military training, because you ain't finna get me hemmed up. And I'm telling you, that has saved my life on many occasions. In recent examples, especially last year, when I had to walk out of a few situations, I wasn't feeling it. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but I knew I had to leave. Real talk, people. So I'm telling you, this world of social media, if people don't reconnect again and reconnect with what's going on in their environment, that's a time and place for social media. But you should not be so obsessed with social media that you have literally lost touch of reality. You have lost touch of what's going on around you. You're no longer having real life communication with people in your household, your family, without that cell phone in your hand. I'm here to tell you. I'm gonna tell you something. My daughter, going on 32 years old, been in the Navy now, going on for 10 years. And my daughter, who's a full-grown woman, already know when she come visit me, she can't be on. Now she may have a cell phone on her person or whatever, but when she come and visit her mother, I don't allow her to have her cell phone in her hand, and she knows it. It is not allowed. That's not how I'm going to communicate with you. And she's a full-grown 32-year-old sailor in the military, been in the military for going on 10 years. When we're going out to eat or getting coffee, or you visit your mother, she already knows she's not allowed to have her cell phone in her hand when she's she better not. She better not. And to me, that's ties into where people can know how to cut it off and be able to interact in the real world, conversate in the real world without that phone in the hand. That's critical, because having the skills to cut it off, you never know, could save your life, because you're going to be aware of your surroundings. You're going to know what's going on in front of you, behind you, left, right. You're going to know what's going on. Real talk, people. So share this information. I've been wanting to revisit this lecture for a while now. Don't let social media be the reason you are getting fired from your job, or don't let social media be the reason that you fail a pre-employment social media check. And even if you got your own business, don't let social media be the reason why you feel a pre-employment check, even you are getting a 1099, because a part of that pre-employment check also means a social media check. And I don't care what kind of skills or knowledge you have, even if you're in your own business and you're getting a contract with a stakeholder and you feel that social media check, you ain't getting that contract. Real talk. You know, I got a couple of powerful contracts that I got as a DOT evaluator at the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administrator at the federal level. If before this stakeholder gave me this contract to make a truckload of money, I still had to meet those requirements with the background check, the social media check, checking my credentials. Real talk. They didn't just give me this contract. I still had to meet, which I'm gonna get a 1099 at the end of the year to reflect all of the revenue that I've had contracts with this company before. I still had to meet those standards and prerequisite people to get this contract. In addition to the credentials, they check this out. In addition to showing evidence of professional liability insurance in the amount of $2 million, I mean $3 million. So I still had to meet those standards and to pass that social media check, criminal background check, credential check to get this. They don't care about all that if I would have failed or their prerequisite to get the contract. So I say that to say it don't matter if you're self-employed and got your own business, because when you're getting contracts with stakeholders, with businesses, you still got to meet all those prerequisites in addition to having the knowledge, skills, and ability and the credential to get the contract. But you got to still meet all those other standards similar to someone who would have been a W-2 with the same company. The only difference is you 1099. Like I said, people, I've been in business for 25 years. And this is real talk. And I've seen people at my level with home offices lose contracts because of what they are publishing on social media. These stakeholders are checking. They're checking and they're checking again. Real talk. So again, share this information. Somebody might need to hear this, because like I said, as I do this lecture right now, somebody has lost their job because of social media, or somebody has not gotten that job because of social media, or somebody has not got that contract because of social media. Real talk. That's all I have. Simplify, simple fidelity, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.